About 90% of Animal Crossing's gameplay is hanging out with all of the cute animals that live on your island. The other 10%? Other stuff. But with so many cute designs, they're bound to make a few duds. Or maybe even more than a few. Yeah, there are some villagers that are truly hated in the community, all because of their looks. That's why I've decided to take it upon myself to find out why they're so hated and change their looks so that they can be more attractive. Not attractive. So they can be more well-liked in the community. So let's get started with fixing the ugliest villagers in Animal Crossing New Horizons. Alright, here we are on whatculture.com, your #1 spot for news. This is where I typically go whenever I want to figure out what's happening in the world. Here's their article, 20 Ugliest Animal Crossing Villagers. Alright, starting off with quite the controversial take of Stitches. I don't know if anybody really considers Stitches ugly. What is their reasoning? Stitches is a little unsettling because of one simple factor, his eyes. If the developers gave Stitches conventional eyeballs, he had the potential to be among the cutest villagers instead of one of the most unnerving. Okay, well, I feel like the X's are meant to represent the fact that he's got stitching for eyes, but sure, let's go ahead and give him some more conventional eyeballs. They were a little bit vague in saying what should be changed, but I assume that this is probably what they meant when they said conventional eyeballs. Wow, the eyes really do make a difference. I didn't realize how much cuter Stitches would look with conventional eyeballs. I think one of the cutest parts about this redesign is the fact that no matter where you turn the camera, you still feel like Stitch's new eyes are just staring at you. Staring through you. Alright, let's see what else they got for us. Biskit. Alright, because of Biskit's pure white eyes, many players think that she? Yeah, that checks out. See, this whole time I thought that Biskit was a guy because, you know, lazy personalities are typically reserved for guys, and in all of the official media, they're referred to as a guy. On the wiki, it says that they're a male. But if James here says that he's a girl, well then, I guess it's Miss Biskit. Okay, so once again, it looks like the author has a problem with the eyes, which I get, you know, those eyes are just pure white. You can't see the irises, you don't ever know where Biskit is looking. So let's go ahead and give her some pupils. Oh yeah, she looks great. I was scared that people would think that she's still completely soulless and just because she has irises, she's still dead. So what I did was make sure that the irises were constantly moving so that you knew that she was alive. Now, I think she is much cuter. Okay, next up we have Pietro, who I don't really know if I would call ugly, more so just has a unique look. But let's see what the issue is. Instead of wearing a standard jester outfit, Pietro wears everything associated with clown. If Pietro wore a simpler outfit, he'd probably be pretty cool. Yeah, that makes sense. I really don't want my villager that's dressed up like a clown to be dressed up like a clown, so that makes a lot of sense to me. And it makes things a lot easier because I don't actually have to change anything. All I have to do is give him new clothes. Well, James, when you're right, you're right. That outfit really was the thing that was making Pietro look weird. I switched out his weird, gross, ugly clown outfit for a nice, cool maid outfit. And now he looks so much better. Next up we got Moose. Looks like this article fell for the old fake transparent PNG trick. But they were so confident in their choice that they didn't even bother to change it. His hair and curly mutton chops look like they were squiggled onto his face by a toddler. With his buck tooth and constantly raised eyebrow, Mouse always... Wait, Mouse? Come on, you got his name right up there, all at the top. What happened in between this sentence and this sentence? I'm glad to see that journalism degree is getting put to really good use. Alright, well, let's fix my guy Mouse, and then we'll go find a new article. Well, guys, I shaved him. And in even better news, with the hair that I removed off the sides, I was able to save a little bit and give him a mustache. Not everybody knows this, but twirly mustaches are on their way back in, and Mouse is just getting ahead of that. People also had a big problem with the fact that his eyebrow was constantly raised, so in order to combat that, I put a little band-aid over his eyebrow so that he actually has a reason for it to be staying up there. Nobody would make fun of a medical condition, would they? You know your website's designed well when I have to click 7 times to at least get off the website. I'm here on gamingsection.net, your number one spot for gaming news, network, all that type of stuff. We're here reading their article, Who is the Ugliest Villager in Animal Crossing? Rodney. Rodney is one of the most all-time hated Animal Crossing villagers, and it's not really hard to see why. His tealish blue skin doesn't look good with his tuft of pink hair or his magenta and white striped shirt at all. In fact, can Animal Crossing villagers get married? No, weddings are currently restricted to just Reese and Cyrus. Well, that took a little bit of a turn, but I'm hooked, so I'm going to keep reading. Can you marry Tom Nook? Tom Nook is most difficult to marry, as he tends to play hard to get, and his events are more rare since he usually has to tend to Timmy and Tommy. But while it's more difficult, it's still possible. Can you marry anyone in Animal Crossing? So it probably goes without saying that you can't marry any of your villagers in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I mean, apparently it doesn't go without saying, because while it's difficult, it's still possible to marry Tom Nook. Alright, last one for this website. Is Tortimer dead? Tortimer. It is believed that she died tragically. What's the deal with these articles and just not knowing the gender of any of these characters? Alright, I know I said that was the last one, but I just found something else. Can you marry Isabelle in Animal Crossing? The good news is, yes, she is. Great. I'm gonna go ahead and click off that website before it gives me a virus. Okay, here we go, we got Barold. Everything about Barold raises red flags. Okay, well apparently everything is bad, which means we need to replace everything? I mean, I'm pretty sure people like Filbert, so, let me just... There we go. Oh no, I hate that it actually kind of looks good. Well, here's our boy Filbarold. He looks so much better than he did before. I think we probably got time to fix like one more character. Oh, Rodney, my arch enemy. I cannot wait to fix this guy. Rodney is one of the most all-time hated Animal Crossing villagers, and it's really not hard to see why. His tealish blue skin doesn't... Wait, this is just the same sentence as that other article. I can't believe there's plagiarism rampant in the Animal Crossing journalism community. Alright, I've been thinking long and hard on how to fix Rodney, because he's got a lot of things that are wrong with his face, so I'm pretty sure I've got the perfect way to do it. That's better. So, we followed the articles and we fixed these ugly characters, but something just doesn't feel right. I mean, they look better, according to the articles, but something is just different. See, they're not themselves anymore. Deep down inside, I think we all know that just because something isn't conventionally attractive doesn't mean that it's worth anything less. I mean, why should we hate a character just because they look a little bit different than we do? Just because our standards may be high doesn't mean that we should ostracize any characters. At the end of the day, the things that make them ugly are the things that make them unique, and I don't think they really needed to be fixed. They just needed to be themselves. Except Rodney, we made a good decision there.